tell us how directly and indirectly e-commerce has been able to create job opportunities, youth engagement, and wealth creation for the Nigerian economy?
In many ways. So I'll take it in different ways. Number one, in terms of the employees who never had any clue about e-commerce and how e-commerce operates, and now you have a staff strength of, when you combined the strength of Jumia, the on-site itself, and also the logistics arm of EIG that supports Jumia, it's about 1,500. Okay, so creating that employment is one. Okay, you create people who didn't have those skills, they've learned those skills, and they are employable now in e-commerce. Secondly, you have our vendors. As you know, Jumia operates a marketplace model, which means that we have vendors whose inventory is actually what we have live on the Jumia platform. Okay, so we have about 6,000 vendors who have their products on the Jumia platform. So some of them don't even own a warehouse. We have some vendors who the only office they have is their mobile phone. And that's how, and these are some of our top sellers actually. So you look at our logistics network, like I said, you look at the fact that we also have an offline team, which we call our J-Force. Now recognize that not everybody in Nigeria has access to internet. Okay, there are some people in some remote locations who don't have access to internet and internet services. So we created for this time period until we have that level of massive expansion, everybody has access.
To achieve all of these efficient and effective service delivery in the e-commerce subsector, you definitely need a robust internet broadband penetration. How has this been able to affect the growth of the sector?
Certainly. Very important that we have the kinds of internet connectivity and broadband network that allows people wherever they are to be able to access the internet. So in the areas where it's been available, it has been very much a catalyst for growth for e-commerce in Nigeria. So definitely internet penetration, definitely broadband penetration is very key to e-commerce and has been one of the fundamental pillars for us.
Certainly, youth engagement in this subsector is dependent on ICT as a catalyst. How much do you think ICT has become a skill, or rather a tool for youth capacity development in order to grow this sector?
Because you're quite right, is one of the key challenges, and then again someone will tell you on the flip side is one of the opportunities in the market. But I think the key area where it impacts e-commerce is because e-commerce is really dependent on logistics. So we need to have the type of logistic infrastructure, and I'm not talking about logistics just in terms of warehousing and distribution, but up until the last mile delivery to the customer. The capacity for that in Nigeria is not yet that developed, that well matured. So we had to, as a group, because you know Jumia is part of the Africa Internet Group, so as a group we had to invest massively in that area to take the capacity that exists in the market, but in addition also have a core team of people who deliver to the last mile.
You seem to so enthusiastic and firm about the conviction that ICT could possibly become the next driver of the economy as an alternative to oil. Is that the story?
I think definitely. I mean, for me, if you ask me, there are many definitions of GDP. There's the economics definition of GDP. But in another way, GDP can define it as the sum total of all the innovation in a country, okay? Because that's what creates the products and services that you have. So from that perspective, you can say that if IT has a capacity for innovation creation, then clearly is one area in which if we really develop that, we can make a tremendous impact on the way Nigeria grows and Nigeria develops. And it will be one major catalyst in terms of diversifying our, we look at, yes, we have raw materials, we have resources and so on, but the human capacity is far more valuable. And that human capacity you can unlock with the access to the right kind of tools and right kind of applications that they can engage in and create different kinds of products and services. Think of Uber, think of many things. These are just people who have created digital platforms that are providing the same goods and services that we use today, but in a completely different way that has leveraged technology tremendously.